Hey everyone, it's Greg from Six Sided Discs, and this is All Six Sides, where we explore the world of disc golf from every angle. Lucas from Double Bogey Dies is here. We're reacting to huge off-season moves, talking dying discs, guessing discs blindfolded, and chasing aces. But first, this week in disc golf, the off-season moves cranked up to 11 since we last wondered where Jeremy Colling would end up. It turns out the MVP rumors were true. Jerm picked up his first win with MVP on the Tour Down Under at the New Zealand Disc Golf Open. Catch coverage of Tour Down Under on GoThrow's YouTube channel, formerly GK Pro. Dynamic Discs released Kona Montgomery and Ricky Wysocki from huge contracts signed in early 2022. While Kona going back to Innova is no surprise, Ricky signing with Discraft puts some icing on an incredible off-season cake for Discraft. You can find all the off-season moves on Ulti-World Disc Golf's sponsorship megathread at the link in the video description. What off-season move surprised you the most? Leave a comment down below. Meanwhile, this week at Six Sided Discs, we're excited to announce that we're attending the Disc South Expo on March 1st and 2nd. We'll have a booth set up with custom stamped discs, apparel, and more. Plus, I'll be hosting my own solo panel at the expo. Tickets are available at discsouth.com or at the link in the description. Make sure you stop by and say hello because we're bringing at least 100 Velcro patches to give away to subscribers at the show. Now, back to All Six Sides. All right, we're joined in the studio today by Lucas, our friend Lucas from Double Bogey Dies.
Hey.
Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, good to be here.
It's been a while since you were here. In fact, I think a long time ago, long-time viewers would maybe remember us doing a bit of a blindfolded guessing game, like I don't know what it was, a year ago, a year and a half ago, I don't know. It's been a minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fun.
Your beautiful baby boy's upstairs, 3 months old.
Yep, yes, sir.
Super fun and exciting. How's that going so far?
Pretty good. Challenging, but yeah, it's good overall. Yeah, he's a good kid.
Nice. Yeah, it was. It's super great to see. It's been a while. I don't even remember the last time we got a chance to hang out. It feels like it's been the off season. For context, Lucas and his wife live a little over an hour away.
Yeah, just about an hour. Yeah.
So it's just like that weird distance. That's like just enough to like. That's like it's like a whole day commitment
gotta
to try and
thing, yeah.
to do something. But and then I think like some of the courses we would normally meet up at in Columbus haven't been in great shape lately. It's like cold, it's snowy, and then they're going to close the handbrick eventually. They keep saying it's like any minute. So anyways, but for anyone who doesn't already know, you have an Instagram account and like, I don't know, side hustle. I don't know what you want to call it.
Hobby, side hustle, whatever.
Yeah. Double Bogey Dies, which we're going to talk about more about later. Because dying discs, and like I have a few in my collection, some that you've done for me, and we've also sold for a while on our website. But before we get there, let's kind of zoom out from that and cover a couple other things and take two off the first. We'll just keep it casual.
Cool. Yeah.
Off-season stuff. Have you been following any disc golf news?
A little bit, not a ton. I know there's some big moves moving around with people leaving teams and things like that. So.
Yeah. So I was just going to list a few. I have a couple written down. I was going to list a few and see like what maybe you haven't already heard. And if either way, I'm kind of curious your reaction.
Okay.
And maybe I'll start at the bottom and work my way up here. Are you familiar with Evan Smith?
I am. Yeah.
Signed with Dynamic Discs.
Okay.
You know what I learned about Evan Smith today, actually, is that over the course of the entire season, last season, he was an average finish of 11th place.
Okay.
Which if you were to ask me, like, who's in that, like, top 10, just outside the top 10, I don't think he would come to mind.
Yeah.
So shout out Evan Smith. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Dynamic Discs, though, probably making more headlines for people leaving. Ricky's out. Kona's out. Kona went back to Innova. Not too surprising.
I'm not surprised about that one either. No.
Her dad works there.
Yeah.
And she was sponsored by them before. So I'm not too shocked by that, but Ricky to Discraft.
Yeah. I heard that and I was honestly surprised.
Yeah.
I know he made a move a few years ago to who's he with originally?
He was with Innova for a long time.
Yeah.
And so I mean that was big news when he left Innova, and it was to go to like a huge contract. This was in like 2022 with Dynamic Discs. They had the whole helicopter reveal video or whatever. It was like a huge thing. But fast forward today, and that, clearly those big money contracts maybe weren't the move for Dynamic. So that's interesting. What about Big Jerm to MVP?
That one was a surprise to me. for sure. And Big Germ is my wife's favorite like professional player,
Yeah.
and she's followed him a little bit. And like just hearing that, I'm like, I thought he was going to be a lifer for sure, or at
Yeah.
least a couple more years.
Somebody, I saw a post on Reddit today that was talking about um Innova's off season, and they're sort of, I think their general consensus was, I understand that Innova's in the space to make these moves financially, and that they're probably smart financial moves, but as a fan, I don't like it.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think, if you're like a big fan of a player and a company is like, I don't really care to support them, or I'm not, and this is a perception thing. Obviously, we don't like have confirmation from Innova that this is something that they feel, but it doesn't seem that they're willing to put up that money for big name players.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious why that is. So, I can't do anything other than sort of wonder about it or speculate, but it gets me wondering.
Could write him a letter.
Maybe we'll write Innova if you're watching. I'll put a little virtual window for you on the couch. We can talk about it. I don't know. Those are certainly some big ones more recently, but both the Robinson brothers out at Prodigy. Mm-hmm. Prodigy is another one of those things that's kind of strange. That's probably like a whole entire episode. I was thinking about getting like some Prodigy street team people on to like, let's talk Prodigy and what's up. Like, why do people dog on Prodigy so much? But Ezra Robinson to Discraft, big. Mm-hmm. Isaac to Latitude 64. So of all of those, which one do you think caught you by surprise the most? Was that?
I would say Big Germ.
Big Germ?
Yeah, Big Germ for sure. Caught me by surprise. I don't really know why, but I mean, maybe because my wife likes him so much.
Whatever. I think he was with Innova for like 8 years.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And that's as long as probably 80% of disc golfers have been part of the sport these days. Mm-hmm. So I guess it makes sense. Yeah. Well, before we talk disc dying, because I want to talk about that in maybe not so much depth as like how do we do it, because we didn't bring stuff, but like let's do some flying blind.
Yeah, cool.
This is a segment we like to call Flying Blind because, as you can see, I can't. Lucas has brought a couple discs, 2, I believe.
I brought 3.
Ooh, 3. All right, sweet. And so for each of these discs, I have, and I'm going to try and I'm going to throw a curveball at you because we didn't talk about this. Do you have your phone on you?
I do have my phone.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to set me like a 2-minute timer.
A timer, okay.
Yeah, maybe 2 minutes is a stretch. Like let's go a minute. I'm going to try and be ambitious because I want to keep it moving and I want to challenge myself. And if I can sit here and fiddle around with it all day, it's maybe it's too easy. I don't know. There are 6 things that I have to guess about these discs. I'm looking for disc type, which you would think would be easy, but different companies handle these things differently. So we're like putter, approach, mid-range, fairway, or distance driver. I'm also looking for the brand, plastic, mold, all 4 flight numbers, and the country of origin, so where it's manufactured.
Okay. Cool.
Are we ready?
Yeah, we're good to go. I got the timer set up.
All right.
And do your first disc.
All right. I'm going to try and keep the disc out here where everybody can see. I am ready.
I'm starting the timer. When minute hits your hands.
Say when.
All right. Go for it.
Ooh. Okay. All right. So a couple things that I'm already finding distracting. I think this is a die with like a stencil on it. So I'm going to try and ignore that. It feels like a mid-range. If I had to guess, it's like a neutral stability, like straight mid-range. Oh shoot. And it's also kind of like a low profile. It doesn't feel that great in like a forehand grip, so I don't think it's something that I would forehand. It's got like a little bit of a thing going on the lip. This is a tricky one. So I think the die and like the stencil is maybe like obscuring what type of plastic it is potentially. Mm-hmm. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. Got 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Oh shoot. Okay. All right. So let me lock in. It's a mid-range. If I had to guess, and I guess I'll just have to start like locking in guesses. And I can't think much about it anymore. Shoot. Okay. So this plastic to me, it feels like it could be Innova, but it also feels like it could be dynamic or like a trilogy disc, but I don't recognize it as a trilogy disc. And I don't know, like the closest thing I would be thinking that it is like a Mako 3 or something from Innova if it were. So I think that's what I'm going to shoot for, just like a straight mid-range. I'm going to say it's Innova. If I had to guess a plastic, I would go Star because it's got that kind of softness. I don't feel super confident about this. And then an Innova Mako 3 would be 5500 on flight numbers, and it's made in America.
Good guess.
All right. How'd I do?
That is a Mako 3.
Really?
It is not Star plastic. It is the XT plastic.
XT.
And it does have a fun. There's no dye on it, but it's just like a shark fin kind of stamp on it to kind of throw you off a little bit.
It's like it is so okay. So yeah, I think the combination of the XT plastic and this stamp, I don't know what it looks like, but man, I can feel it. Like some stamps you can't feel them, but this is like really, really raised up on there. I can feel it very clearly. So I thought for sure it was a dye or something. Okay, so I actually got quite a few points for that. I only missed the plastic.
Yeah, yep.
Wow.
It was pretty impressive. Yeah, I thought I was going to get you on that one with the different plastic
Was
type.
it?
And the...
Okay, this is a weird question. Is it dirty?
No.
Okay.
It had the sticker on it this morning. I just took it.
That's an XT plastic thing then. It just has this like, it like leaves a little residue
like
on
an
your
eraser
fingers or something.
Rubbing.
Yeah. Well, we're off to a flying start. And if it's anything like last time, we'll have to edit that to be the last disc so that we have a big finish.
You still want a minute or you want a little bit longer?
I think the pressure is good.
Okay,
Let's do it.
All right, here is disc number 2. Time's starting now.
All right, so this is a driver. It feels like it's probably a fairway driver. Oh, it's an overmold, isn't it? Yeah, it's definitely an overmold disc. So of this size and shape, we're probably talking MVP, Axiom, Crave, Insanity, kind of realm. Does it feel? Is it too thick to be a Crave? I don't know. Shoot. Okay, and then boy, I'll tell you what, MVP's plastics feel very similar. Plasma, neutron, cosmic neutron, all very similar. It's got like a little bit of softness to it. Where am I at on time? 10 seconds. Oh gosh. All right. So I think if I'm going like gut reaction, I think it feels too thick to be a Crave. And you know what? I think it might have some stability. So I'm gonna switch last second. This is a fairway driver, MVP, Volt, which is 8.5. Is it 0.2 or negative 0.5? Crap. I think it's negative 0.52. And, you know, if we're guessing this plastic, let's assume that it looks, well, okay, who are we talking about? Lucas dyes discs. So let's go neutron, that it was like a blank white and then you dyed it maybe? I don't know. And then MVP is made in America, of course. Is that everything? 6 things?
Yeah, I think that's all of them.
All right, what is this?
It is a Volt.
Yes.
Wow, very impressive.
Let's go.
And that one is dyed.
Is it really?
It is, yeah.
Dude, I am feeling good.
Yeah, doing good too.
You know, there's I felt just this little like, and this was in the comments on the first video, so I'm really trying to like talk about what I'm feeling and thinking about the disc to help portray that on camera. I know that's hard, but that little lip right there. Zoom in, Greg, the editor. Also me. Oh, I hit my microphone. You can just feel it. There's just a little lip there. And that's what tipped me off that it was an overmold. And then it didn't. I mean, I was thinking Crave, Insanity because they're popular, but like feels like it's got stability and it's too big to be a Crave. So
last one. You ready for it?
Let's do it.
All right, got a minute starting now.
Oh man. This is a massive chunky driver. It does not feel good in my backhand grip. Could forehand it. What the heck is this? This is a weird one, dude. Okay, so it's got to be like it's not an overmold, or it doesn't feel like it. It's definitely like a 13, 14 speed driver. But what brand would it be? Who makes such a thing? It does feel like it could be understable. There's like a lot of slipperiness going on here. Shoot. Man, you threw a doozy with this one. Um, I'm trying to rack my brain of even like who makes a disc that's this chunky,
You got 10
that's
seconds.
not an overmold. It makes me think it could be Innova with their 14 speeds. This plastic, though, I guess I don't have a better guess other than Star. Okay, let's start locking in. It's a distance driver. It has to be. Um, it is. I'm trying not to like touch it anymore, so I'm just guessing based on what I felt. So I guess I'm just gonna have to go Innova, but I'm low confidence. The plastic feels like Star plastic. Uh, what are their 14s, 13 and 14 speeds like? Vulcans, Daedalus. Like, I guess if I had to throw a guess on this, I just felt it again, even though I said I wouldn't. I guess I would go with like a Daedalus, but I don't think that's right. And the flight numbers on that, I have no idea. 14, 5, -3, 2. Who knows? And if it's Innova, it's made in America. I don't feel good about this
Yeah,
one.
that is a Wild Discs Great White.
A Wild Discs. Okay, Great White. So aren't they made by Gateway?
I think so. Your guess is as good as mine.
Okay, well, that was our last disc, so I get to look at it
The
now.
chunky one.
Oh, whoa, okay. Oh, this is not made by. Who is this made by? Interesting. You know what? This was a good one to pick because I've never thrown or held a Wild Discs.
It's a little convex there.
Yeah,
so
it's sort of like
good
puddle
getter.
topped. Well, I mean, the 13-14 speed was easy to figure out, but not much else. Wow. It's bright out here. All right. Thanks, man. That was fun.
Yeah, it was.
Good choices.
Thank you.
Can I see that Volt?
Yeah, you can.
Yes, I remember this stamp. What is up with the? I think that is an 8.
I couldn't tell. It was hard to read.
It is hard to read, actually. It's like a stylized little font. I think it is 8.5 -0.52. Pretty happy about that. Not bad. What's up with your discs being so flat?
I don't know.
Holy
I
moly.
couldn't tell you.
There you go.
They die okay, so
Yeah.
can't complain.
Sweet. Well, that was fun. Let's get into our just sort of discussion topic here. Let's talk about dyeing discs. And maybe before that, take a moment to introduce yourself a little bit more. Where did Double Bogey Dyes come from? How long have you been dyeing discs?
Sure.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. I guess what kind of got me into it, first off, had been on Instagram. I've got like a disc golf Instagram, so I can keep all my other stuff out of it.
Yeah.
And, I'd seen a couple of pages that were up, and there was one that I really wanted to buy. I'm just like, okay, I got to get it. And then I reached out to the creator and figured out it wasn't too hard to actually get into. It's like, well, I could do this myself. So
Yeah.
So I got right into it, and it's super fun. It's really fun thing to do.
So we've had a deal set up for a little while between Six Sided Discs and you to basically take dye discs on commission.
Yeah.
And then we hang on to them, and when we sell them, we pay you. And that's seemed like a fun little side gig to work on. How have you found like the difference between dyeing a disc just because you have like a random idea for yourself versus like, hey man, I need 10 dyes and just do whatever or make them this way or something like that? Like, is there a big difference in designing for yourself versus like, okay, I want people to buy these, so they need to be a certain kind of thing, or they need to look cool or whatever?
I feel like, I don't know, as far as like actually making the discs, whether it's for myself or for other people to have, I'm a lot more critical against myself when I make the discs, when I'm selling it to somebody or having somebody take it, show it off, whatever, because you want it to look good.
Yeah.
As far as like inspiration behind either one of them, it's hard to go without any direction. So like giving you a stack of discs, I'm just like, okay, let's just throw some colors together and see how it turns out.
Yeah.
If it doesn't turn out too well, then of course, I won't try to sell it or hold on to it, put it in my bag. But it's still kind of cool because I'll have it for my own collection, be able to show it off. Be like, hey, here's something I do.
Yeah.
For myself, I don't really know. It's just kind of throw stuff together also. Sometimes I'll do more like stencil-y stuff on my own, just because it's going to be mine. I want it to look pretty also, but
Yeah.
I'm like less perfectionist against it or less critical when it comes to making them.
I sort of wondered if there was any similarity because I originally went to school for graphic design way back when, and I do get to use that a little bit for what we do, whether it's editing the videos or like designing stuff that we've done, or you know, the pillows or whatever. Thanks for everyone's comments on the pillows, by the way. Don't know if we're gonna sell them. They would be kind of pricey, but if you want to buy a $40 pillow, and therefore a 4-set would be a lot more than that. I guess let us know in the comments and we'll try and look into it for you. But you know, in graphic design, you know, when I was in school, I found it really easy because it was like, oh, design an album cover, design a concert poster. And I'm like, oh, I'll just pick my favorite band and make this really cool thing. But in reality, you have a client that you're working for. And the job is done when they say it's done, not when you're happy with it, just when it's done. And there's also like a weird thing about being the client and the designer and designing stuff for my own business where it's never done because I'm like never really satisfied and I'm my worst critic. So I wonder, like, do you ever run into that? Like when you have an idea of something you really want to do, you make a stencil for it, but it doesn't come out right? Or do you find like anything frustrating or difficult about that process? Or
Yeah, I mean, because there's things that can go wrong. I mean, obviously, any aspect of life, things can go wrong. With dyeing, if I've got a stencil and it bleeds, and if it's something that I'm making for somebody, you know, they wanted this very specific thing, they send in their own disc, and then I ruined it because the dye had bled in across. I don't know, it's just trying to figure out some way to make everyone happy. I know, it's like, hopefully people are understanding. They have been so far. They understand things happen. But yeah, it's definitely frustrating when things go wrong, but for the most part, it gets sorted out.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering about like how many you know, in the disc golf world, factory seconds are out there, right? Like how many dyed seconds are sitting in a bin that are like the oh my gosh, what happened there kind of thing, right?
Yeah. Thankfully, I don't have too much of a stockpile of stuff that turned out poorly, but if it's too awful, I have friends that will take free discs. So
there you go.
that's all you need.
Nice. So if you're looking for a free disc, hit up.
Hope I screw up.
Hit up Lucas on Instagram. You brought some dyes with you, right?
Yeah, I did.
All right, let's check out some dyes.
I'll just hand them to you.
Sounds good.
You can take a peek at that there.
Sweet. So we got an Essence, kind of like 3-color blue, orange, pink swirl thing going on, right? And then you did a spin dye on the rim as well.
Yeah. It kind of helps it pop out just a little bit more when it's got.
For sure. I hope I'm not. Maybe I should hold it up straight and not get a bunch of glare. Check it out. So this looks like, and maybe I just guessed because I don't know. I've like tried a little bit of dyeing, but is this a shaving cream?
Yep, that one is scratch.
Because you can kind of see scratch and stuff. It's got, you can smell it. But it's got like the one or two dyes that we tried to do, you could like see the individual bits of like powder dye that got shook into it or whatever. So that's pretty cool. I don't know if we'll be able to see them if I just stack them up here, but what else we got?
This one's an onyx that I did.
What? This is sick.
Yeah, that one turned out pretty well. I'm pretty happy with that one.
All right, so I'll hold this up to the camera. So this is a lotion or like shampoo? Flolatrol,
which is like a paint additive.
So I've heard this referred to as like a cell dye, right? Yep. So like you get these little like individual cells of color dropping in or whatever that sort of create the like sharp lines in between them. Like that, That's sweet. And then a black sort of spin dye on it. That is super cool. Love that one. Sparkly stamp. Hope, you know, gosh, I hope they come across well on camera.
Yeah,
that's all. Too. That's all I can ask for.
And that one is just kind of like a paint dye. I'm not really sure how to. Just a spin dye.
Just a spin dye. Yeah. Yeah, but it looks good, and you're matching a little bit of the colors of like the Wonder Bread stamp, right? Nice. So we also didn't talk about these ahead of time. What are these dyes for?
They're for sale. They'll be
nice.
On the website.
So, and I didn't want to presume.
Oh no,
but this is us figuring it out in real time. So these will be some of the latest commissions to go up on our website. If you go to sixsidediscs.com, I think the easiest place to find it right now, and I'll probably add a category to like the homepage. But if you go to shop all, there should be a dyed disc or double bogey dies category you're looking for. I mean, the sign's over there. You know what it looks like. You don't need to see the stamp, but double bogey dies.
Yeah.
And just to be clear, double bogey dies doesn't mean you're going to get double bogeys with the discs.
Correct. It
Yeah.
just sounds fun.
Yeah, I had a lot of people at the expo ask me about the name of our business, of our channel or whatever. And the best answer I could give them is I had the logo design first, and I liked how it sounded.
Yeah.
And it just rolls off the tongue. Six-sided discs.
Yeah. I know you asked earlier. I mean, that's kind of just, it's like, oh, it would be a fun little name for a
Yeah.
double bogey dies. And I do put the stamps on the back of some discs, as long as it's not like,
Right.
it's transparent, so you don't have to see it while you're looking at the
Right. Yeah.
A couple of people who have purchased them, they're like privately, like aside from six-sided discs, they're just like, oh man, I'd love to have that disc, but why do you have to have your stamp on it? I'm like, you can take it off. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, you can take it off if you want.
Take it off. Why would I be at a tournament when it says double bogey right on the back? I don't know, man.
So what they do then is they draw a little like prohibitory sign around it, and that's how they get inspiration on the course. No double bogeys. Nice.
Yeah.
We should also, because you brought your sign, which is awesome. I love that you just brought it. But my sign and your sign have something in common, I assume, which is the person who made them, which is your cousin.
My cousin, yeah. Yep.
What? I forget his first name.
Jeff.
Yeah.
Spalacy
Designs. I will look up his handle or get the correct handle to put in the video description. He does some great stuff. And he also, when we had ours done, put together just like some little samples of other stuff that he could do. And so I have some sweet, like little six-sided discs coasters. They're like slate. I'll throw up I'll throw up a picture of them. Yeah. He just threw these in for free, but they're super cool. It's like a little like piece of slate, and it's got little foam stoppers on the bottom, and it's just got our logo on the top. Yeah. So those are pretty slick.
Hey, he does a great job.
So shout out Spalacy Designs. What is there like a, because this is like 3 examples of like different types of dyeing. Is there one that you prefer, that you find easier to work with? Like, are the cells kind of finicky to get just right, or is like, because I know sometimes like the shaving cream is just like, random, like just let it ride or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, some of them take a little bit more material, a little bit more planning, but like I said earlier, kind of just throw colors together and they turn out okay. They can be finicky. It just kind of depends. I feel like there are some easier ones, like a lotion dye or the burst dye, like that doesn't vary a whole lot with how you do it. But for the most part, yeah, I just work it out, put something together in my head, see how it works, kind of tweak it a little bit if it doesn't look super great in the bed. And the cool part about the bed is you can kind of see what it will turn into. Same with what the cell dyes there. So
yeah. How long have you been dyeing discs now?
I think I started back in January of 2020 or 2021. So about 4 years now. Yeah, 4 or 5.
It's definitely a hobby that I see a lot of people get into. And this is super, super random. Side note, when we were at Idlewild, our neighbors down like the end of the row that we were on, I'm going to forget the name of the place, the Dyers Guild, I think is their name.
Yeah, sounds familiar.
They had a really cool setup where you could go through a book and kind of pick out a dye like style that you liked, and then you could dye a disc there at the tournament.
Yeah, there are at a couple tournaments they'll have, I guess, dye stations because everyone's there for the weekend or.
So Eli, my son, and I ended up doing one because he just, he was curious. He wanted to see what it was all about or whatever. And that was a great way, like, not having to source all the materials or whatever to like try it out. But what about for somebody who doesn't have that opportunity, who doesn't have an opportunity to like go to someone who has all this stuff? What would you like? Would you have any advice for someone looking to get into dyeing discs? Like, what's the easiest method to start with? Yeah. What are some easy, like, good places to find the materials or get information about it?
Yeah. It's not as hard as you would think to get into. Materials are relatively cheap. I'd say probably the easiest ones to do are lotion dyes. I didn't bring one. You can just go get synthetic dye at Walmart. I forget the name of the dye at the moment right now, but you just mixed it in with lotion and slap the disc in there, and it's practically. I know there's a little bit more to it than just slapping the disc down. You kind of have to lay it down. You just have to kind of experiment with it, but it's not super hard to get into. Like I said, I saw it on Instagram, and I'm going to try to do that. And then it's turned into Double Bogey Dice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Types of plastic. Base plastic doesn't die as well.
Yeah, the premium plastic works the best. Base plastic can work, but it fades a lot quicker. I mean, even the fun part actually about this force here is I had it dyed from, I don't know, almost a month ago, and a lot of it had faded out, which just happens over time.
Sure.
Sometimes the dyes just fade out even on premium plastic discs. But I mean, I redyed this one, just kind of went right back over it, added the black lines into it, and it looks super fresh now. So,
and that's, I mean, I think the fading is inevitable, and of course, like, people are going to take them and throw them into trees. So like they're not going to look the same forever.
Yeah,
that's to be expected. What's the easiest? I think you said lotion. Was that easier to work with?
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
What kind of? I mean, I don't know. I'm not a lotion expert. What? I don't. That's an awesome, like, out of context
really
soundbite. I don't even know like where I would start going to try and find like a specific, like, is there a good place to get general information about dyeing discs, or what would you recommend?
I think Disc Golf Dyers Guild has information. I mean, a quick Google search on, hey, how do I do this? There are a lot of YouTube videos out there on tutorials on how to do each and every, different thing that you want to try. I don't make any because I'm not great at making videos, but it's a little bit of experimenting. You can pick it up pretty easy on your own, but there's a lot of stuff out there that can help you get into it. I mean, the lotion, I just grabbed the cheapest lotion at Walmart, and then this super cheap synthetic dye, and just, yeah.
Nice. So it's really just like a something to transfer the dye.
Yeah.
And that's you're going to discard when you're done.
Like, I have like glue dyes, which I've done through you, and that's a dye mixture with acetone and like the dye, and then you just put it over top of clear glue, and that just holds the dye onto there and lets it transfer up into the disc.
Sweet. Super cool. I thought before we wrap things up and go hunt some ice cold aces outside, we might just take a look at like some other random dyed discs, because I have some that I can reach from here.
Yeah.
And I think you brought a couple extra as well. Yeah. So let's just check out some dyes and appreciate cool discs. All right. Why don't you go first?
Yeah, sure.
Show us one of these.
I brought a whole stack. So this is a Toro that I did. Try to make it look like a flamey kind of.
Yeah. I'm getting the vibes. Very nice. Star Toro. This is also secret research for future Flying Blind.
I see why you wanted them. Get your hands on. That one would be a glue dye. Same with that one there.
Instinct. Nice. Kind of swirly, two-tone, like purple, blue, red. Looks pretty nice.
Definitely my favorite.
I'm gonna do a better job of remembering to hold them up to the camera.
Yeah, the glue is my favorite.
These are all glue dyes?
Yeah, most of them are. Yeah.
Nice. We got ESP Buzz. And so I noticed for some of these, I think a lot of people assume you need a white disc. This Force is kind of like a really faint yellow. Mm-hmm. This is definitely like a pale green Buzz, but takes the dye really well. And, one of the most common requests on our mystery boxes on our website is no green discs. People be hating on green discs. Mm-hmm. So you can always throw a dye on a green disc.
Yeah. It won't be as vibrant of colors as you're looking for. Obviously, if you put red on green, it'll turn into brown. Mm. But you can still put cool designs on them.
And what's easier to lose than a green disc?
Brown disc. Yeah, I know. I've had failed discs that are brown.
Ooh, this is a cool one. Yeah. West Side Hatchet. I really like this. Is kind of like smoky.
I think it looks like a burnt film strip.
Yeah, you can also see through it on the bottom really easily. That's cool.
Fun thing, this is the same bed that is used on that Onyx.
Whoa. Okay. So
the cool thing is you can reuse, experiment a little bit more.
So this one was first, I assume.
Yeah, that one was first. Right. I added a little bit more black dye for the hatchet, but then just gives a different vibe. Obviously, they're different plastics too, so the colors are showing a little differently.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this is another one that's like not quite white.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Kind of like a tannish color.
And then that's the last one of the stack.
It's got like a yin-yang thing going.
Yeah.
Blue-red. Looks sweet. AVR3, excuse me. Dude. Ugh. I would be in so much trouble. Future guests with Innova. Innova's just a nightmare for me. I got a couple dies. These are just random ones I had sitting around. There's a guy that did dies for us a long time ago. I honestly don't know if I even remember his handle. I'm sorry. Red? No, not Red. It was somebody else. No, I don't. Alex, I think was his name, if I'm remembering correctly. This has faded so much, and what's interesting is you can actually see the original design better on the bottom. Do you see that? It's like it's like a leaf.
How about that?
And it used to be super vibrant, but I got this like I want to say 2020. This was like right after we started, and when I was like getting back into disc golf big time. This one, shout out to my buddy James. If you saw our video with Chris Dickerson from 2022, I don't know when it was anymore. James and I drove down to Tennessee to throw around with Chris, and he got me this die, which is a sick looking Berg. So, and you know what? This has not really faded at all.
Yeah.
Now I bagged the Caxzy for a little bit, so maybe that's the difference. But this looks sick and still does.
Still looks very bright. Yeah.
This is my first attempt at dyeing a disc.
Heck yeah.
Shaving cream and just winging it, and there you go. This is a Star Dart. Domey is crap, you know, but sweet disc, and this is definitely faded a lot. It's also, I don't remember it being this yellow. And then this yarn is from you. Yeah, you dyed this one. And you know, we're purple around here, in case you couldn't tell. And I'm also a yarn junkie, so I think you know, I have a couple backup yarns, but like if things were going real bad at a tournament and I lost them all, like this is going in the bag if it has to. It has just like this faint dome. What's going on there? What's up with that?
I didn't do it, I promise.
Yeah, I've talked about this before. This is completely off topic. But one of the discs that I'm going to be throwing on these ace runs is my K1 yarn. I bag it. It's my favorite disc. And it's from the very, very first run of stock yarns that came out when it was brand new.
Yeah.
And it was the only one in the order that was completely flat, maybe just like a tiny bit puddle topped. All the rest had this little like faint, like a little dome bubble thing going on. And I have not been able to find one like it. So I'm like really paranoid about losing it. I took a bright green yarn as a backup, and I set stuff on it on my desk for like days to try and like extra flatten it out, but it's still not the same. And it's also not as stiff as the pink one. So I don't know if I'll ever have a proper backup.
Just don't lose it.
Castoplast, if you have flat yarns, please.
Send it this way.
Please. Well, hey man, this was super fun.
Yeah.
I think dyeing discs is just like one of those little niche things that makes disc golf special and unique and cool and can add so much personality to your bag. So if you're into dyeing discs or you want to get into dyeing discs, you want to have some discs dyed, Lucas takes commissions on his Instagram. And this was super fun, man. These look awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
And a bunch of these will be available on our website in the near future. So check out the link in the description.
And you know what they say, if you have never heard it, dyed discs fly better. They also ace better, but
we did a video called Pretty Discs Fly Farther, and I had a lot of comments that said no, dyed discs fly farther. So, you know, part 2 coming in the future when it's not cold anymore. Cool, man. Thanks for being here.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Cool. Let's go run some aces.
Yeah.
See ya.
See ya. He says. He says. Oh my goodness!
No, so close. Get there.
Oh.
Maybe.
Ooh.
No, deep.
Skip.
Ooh. Floaty. Ooh, maybe. Get there. Oh. Go in the bucket. Maybe.
Oh my God.
Get up.
Oh.
Bink.
Doink.
Bink. Bink. Drop,
Oh,
drop,
that
drop,
might.
drop.
I thought that was it.
Dude.
Get in.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
good effort.
So close. Oh.
Ooh. Come on. Oh, come on, Lucas. Come on.